What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 4 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Mannfred von Carstein campaign. So as we saw last time, we wiped out the filthy, and not in a good way, Greybeard's prospectors at the Great Desert of Erebus, and then proceeded to acquire the 5th book of Nagash. The 5th book, our first, and a very nice one at that, giving us the buffs of upkeep reduction in enemy territory, so fairly significant buff when we are actually, not close enough to attack an enemy city within the turn, construction time reduction, local recruitment capacity, and all of this potentially being doubled as soon as we capture Castle Drakenhof. Inevitably, I should say. In this episode, we are turning towards attacking Repanse to Lyonesse, acquiring her research defeat trait, and taking all of her territory for our own. Before we do so, actually, we can do that this turn. Lovely, but there's one thing I forgot to do last time, and that was to get another one of these necromancers for stealing tech. Morbid curiosity. Yes, let's do you, sir. I wish you weren't so expensive, but what can you do? And you're going to be another tech thief, so we'll take another tech thief name suggestion. Grave Robber. Makes sense. Frankly, I should have come up with that one myself, but I'm dumb, so what can you do? Grave Robber, you are going to take a couple turns to reach there, and let's hope that you don't die immediately. Alright, looks good to me. Manny, let's declare war upon Repanse to Lyonesse, and we will do so by joining Skarbrand's war against her, thereby preventing the followers of Nagash from joining. Well, they're the followers of Mannfred now, at least until Nagash comes back and kicks him in the teeth. Anyway, Manny, you are going to switch to, I guess, regular stance and hit the pools of despair. Yes. Should we auto-resolve this? Oh, I didn't think of that. Oh, damn. Okay, I didn't realize that Repanse would be in range of the Black Tower of Arcan, which is currently not defended. I wish I had sent Bathilda there. Oh well, what can you do? We'll auto-resolve this. It's just a small battle anyway, which will damage us, and hopefully this will be enough damage to our army to... Feasters in the Dusk, nice. This will hopefully be enough damage to us so that Repanse and this other army attacks Mannfred here, rather than attempting to attack the Black Tower. I really hope so. I mean, it's not like we've invested a lot into it, but it's the principle of the thing, as it tends to be. Anyway, Grave Ward also gives you speed. That's lovely. We have been trying to go towards Guile of the Night, and we should still do so. Gotta get that additional post-battle chance of stealing a magic item, although the other aspects of it aren't super significant. I guess the ones of magic power reserve capacity reduction of enemies. At least those enemies that have mages, unlike Repanse. Anyway, Kadan von Senkenhof, you will proceed to the Eye of the Panther. And, I wonder what we can raise here, just out of curiosity. Lots of stuff in, including Unholy Lodestone, but ooh, that's expensive. That's real expensive. Alright, you know what? Since Mannfred is no longer needing to raise stuff, what we'll do is we'll remove Kitab al-Azif from him and give him the healing potion, like so. Yes. Then we can give Kitab all the way to this guy. He doesn't really need the Rod of Flaming Death after all. And frankly, if we get something like a Crown of Command, we can combine it with a Rod of Flaming Death and delete it. Mostly because I don't particularly think we'll get any good use out of it. The Fireball aspect, I mean, maybe if we put it on a Vampire. And the thing is, you need a good position and mobility to line it up properly, and let's face it, Necros, they just don't have it. But anyway, Mannfred von Carstein, obviously you are going to reinforce, so go here. In fact, you can pop into Necromantic Ritual for the additional leadership. I don't know whether that actually increases your capabilities in auto-resolve, but maybe it does, who knows. Alright, let's give the Razor Standard, I would think, to the Konigstein Stalkers, who otherwise would, well, actually they have decent armor-piercing weapon damage. And the Ghostly, Spirit Hosts have only 5 armor, wait, I thought SFO had made the changes to Ghost units that give them only, Now I'm confused between Vanilla and SFO. Wait, let me just see here for a second. Where are Ghosties? Yeah, so 20 and 40, so mostly armor-piercing damage. I wonder why spirit hosts were chosen to have very little armor-piercing damage. It's a little bit curious. Armor shouldn't matter to an incorporeal creature, but anyway. We are going to auto-resolve this, assuming that bats don't die, and I'm just going to hope that they don't. Auto-resolve. The bats were fine. The zombies got hurt. Alright, odd, but whatever. Occupy. We'll have plenty more fights. Hellsteed, Corpse Cart 4, Kadan von Senkenhof. Good, more Corpse Carts in here. He's also reached rank 10, and I think now it's time to start moving towards the Unloving Host and buffing up those zombos. You, still not at rank 10, but so close. Go into channeling so that you heal up a little bit more, and then both of you together will hit Martek. Maybe we'll be able to raise... Maybe I'll raise another Spirit Host here as well. I know that they're expensive, but I still feel like we could. Yeah. Anyway, Great Desert of Erebus, you are still an evocation of Nagash, which we no longer need here. We're going to instead switch to Repress Mortals for the additional control and research, right? Oh, actually, I'm lying. We're going to switch to Foster Terror because we need the growth to max this place out first. Alright, first things first, I guess. Wilmar, you're fine. Everybody else is fine. We have a little bit of cash, and I suppose we can build a gibbet to start at the Pools of Despair. We also don't need the Sinister Cops, but we'll keep it there in case the Black Tower of Arcan does get attacked by Repanse. I hope not, but, you know, can't guarantee it. Everything else looks good to me. So skip, let's end the turn, let's proceed to Repanse. We got that quest battle for the Sword of Unholy Power this episode as well, which I'm definitely excited for. And while the turn is ending, I'm also excited to hopefully give you guys 2 episodes today. We did reach the engagement threshold last time around, and the engagement threshold remains for now. Huh, didn't expect that. The engagement threshold remains for now 500 likes and 70 comments, and the next episode will be an hour long as well. Ooh, would you look at that? Well, that might be fun for you two. And this might be fun for Manny. Alright, Sword of Cain claimed. Why is it even telling us? We can't even see this. I guess it's a sort of worldwide announcement. Tic-Tac-Toe's still holding on, just barely so, but still holding on. Manny, hit Zandri if you would, please. Should we level these guys? Okay, we'll level them right as we attack. Right. I just wanted to see if there was anything interesting like Vargeist. In fact, I want to see if there's anything interesting at the Black Pyramid here. We got no Vargeist. We do have Unholy Lodestone Corpse Carts, funnily enough. And we could send somebody to pick them up. Frankly, if we pop you into Necromantic Ritual for a turn, move here, swap you for a turn into... What was it again? Evocation of Nagash with a Raised Dead reduction, get another corpse card in here. I think that might work. Hopefully. Alright, and it'll be expensive, but what can you do? What do we have in terms of buildings? You know what, we'll check out the buildings later. I want to fight Repanse right now. Ooh. I don't like that Skarbrand has an army here. He really doesn't like us. Because reasons. Oh, and by attacking Repanse and significantly weakening her faction, there's a decent likelihood that Skarbrand takes that as an invitation. Alright, well, for now, let's fight. Lots of range units, lots of knights. We don't have reinforcements, so we won't have bats to tie them up. I also didn't check a few things. Let's give this to you, sir. Do you have defenses? No, so it'll be a field battle. Okay, that does work out, though their knights are going to be superior to ours, so we'll still have to be careful. White King. Kevin von Lloydstein, you will want to get... You know what, let's start moving through training, since we now have the units that more or less will make up this army. You have 1 point in Wind of Death. Witherer also does reduce cooldown for Curse of Years, but it doesn't reduce the cost, so I think we will... Oh, you know what? Let's start with you. Max out Replenish Troops. Actually, just in case, we'll get another point in Raised Dead first. You can max out Replenish Troops. Oh, there we go. Alright, Pyrrhic Victory Repanse to Leones herself. Let's do it.
I command thee to attend. Bring thy swords. Reap death. Dance a dance macabre. It is time. The dead march.
Alright, here we go. Ooh, I like this desert map. That's night, but still very nice and bright and visible, as we'll be wanting to see what's going on in the battle. Anyway, as usual, now that we got that flying mount on Manny, we can move on in and cast a spell resistance reduction via the Trickster Shard on Repanse, plus the Spirit Leech, plus the Master of the Black Arts on Manny, means she's going to lose total. Wait till Spirit Leech ends. Alright, there we go. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Not quite 1500 damage, but still pretty darn solid. Anyway, over on the left flank, it looks like the enemy has deployed 3 of its knights there. Questing Knights, Knights Errant, and Mounted Yeomen, though technically... Oh, damn, I didn't mean to speed that up. I forgot what I was going to say, because that surprised me. Anyway, I suppose it doesn't matter. What does matter is all of our units have smashed into the enemy knights. Of course, the Mounted Yeomen aren't really any kind of threat, but the enemy does have range support and men-at-arms moving in, which have done a little bit of damage to our lances and barding. The knights will continue facing off against each other, and we will continue trying to dish out damage, but we'll summon some zombies on field to block off as many of the enemy spears as possible while Manny moves in to help. And then, of course, we'll get the lances and barding out. They're not supposed to stay in combat like the sword and board variants are, and so they'll want to back off to cycle charge while the sword and boarders continue fighting, and the same for the Varix Reavers and great swords. It's also good that we can fight a little bit here because the rest of our army is extremely slow and is slowly approaching, taking a few hits from the enemy artillery piece as well, who appears to be targeting the flagellant executioners. But it'll take him a while to dish out damage there as well. Anyway, range attacks are now focusing our zombies as we backed off a few of our knights and summon more zombies on the field. And we'll continue to do so while we also get the lances and barding essentially to move around this portion of combat. And get right back into it with the enemy questing knights. Nope, those are knights errant. Questing knights have two-handers, and there are the questing knights moving in to fight the sword and boarders and the Varix Reavers, so a little bit of great weapon on great weapon action. Looks like the enemy is attacking us with pox arrows now as well, so a little bit of poison damage on us, but it does look like the enemy cavalry are pretty much spent. With the exception of the questing knights, we will go after them soon. Out here, it looks like the enemy men-at-arms are charging our lines, halberds, and enemy men-at-arms with shields will clash. But the peasant infantry, with the possible exception of foot squires, are just plain not going to cut it against the grave guard. Obviously, the peasant mob will rout rather quickly, but there is a unit of foot squires here who I expect will be in battle for a little bit longer. Nice charge from another unit of knights errant, sending many a unit of grave guard flying, and dishing out a solid 30% of their HP, maybe 25% of their HP in damage on the charge. Otherwise, the entirety of the battlefield is now engaged in fight. Enemy are trying to focus down on Death Archivist Aldous, and Manny is still flying around and annoying the enemy. He's gotten Repanse down to about half of her HP by spamming Spirit Leech, and will be going after her directly now, especially that the Impalers and the Black Knights with Lances and Barding, the other Black Knights with Lances and Barding, because the Impalers are also those, have moved around the fight where the sword and board units are, and are now engaging the enemy range units. Can't be having those guys continue to annoy us, and we'll give chase to them / keep them in combat. Repanse down to 30% of her HP, and the Spirit Leech keeps on coming. She does have the Sword of Leoness active, which helps the Spirit Leech not do too much damage, and perhaps I should have waited for it, but frankly there was a lot to control since this battlefield is kind of dispersed, and a lot to pay attention to. Alright, rest of our cav is moving away from the left flank now and abandoning the fight with all of these piles of infantry, as that's a waste of our time. And it looks like all of these range units are either getting run down by the lances or otherwise attempting to escape. Alright, Black Knights are working really well in this particular battle, as it is mostly a wide open field. Repanse down to maybe 10% of her HP, and Manny is still at about 80%. A couple more hits, and he'll bring her down. Unless he... Manny, what are you doing? Why did you lift off? Flying units behave very weirdly. There we go, down goes Repanse, and there's a decent likelihood we'll never see her again, as if if all of her stacks die, we should be able to auto-resolve the rest of her territories. And men-at-arms that were attempting to fight our Graveguard are attempting to now book it away. Although the enemy is still attempting to focus down our corpse carts, they are healing each other and, by the looks of it, are still fine. Our cavalry are causing havoc in the back lines, forcing all of those poor peasants to run away, and considering that their knights are either dead or very low in number now, it does make sense that they probably won't stick around for too much longer. I do love the balefire sort of lanterns on the corpse carts as well, as it does provide us a nice sort of visual, visible point on the map that allows us to see where they are. And the arrows just keep on coming, but there's probably not enough armor piercing to threaten the Graveguard all that much. They're not super heavily armored, but 90 armor is pretty darn solid. Certainly they're not chosen level, but it's still pretty darn good in the early game. Alright, how we doing otherwise? Bounce power is about 80% in our favor now. Just a matter of time, frankly. I think a couple more kills will probably see the rest of the enemy army rout and shatter. And it's not happening yet, but I do see more units are running away. And the fact that we have either fear or terror on pretty much every unit on the field, meaning those poor peasants are having a very bad time. Our pawns should have brought some Grail relics to this particular fight. And obviously more knights and all that, but if you want to rely on this many peasants in your army without a Grail relic, it's not going to go so well. Alright, and there we go. Well, actually, no, not there we go. I thought the units had started moving because the battle was over, but at least looks like not yet. Or it is, with the exception of Henri Le Massif, who is still fighting. But that's alright between Kevin von Lloydstein and Manny. Now they should be able to bring him down. He is unbreakable, so he will keep fighting. Damn, he's got good stats. He's unbreakable, he's got perfect vigor. Lots of stuff out there. Okay, I can't select him because the game is being obnoxious about it. Knight's Duty, melee attack, Grail Vitality keeps him reasonably healthy. And he's got 81 melee defense and 102 melee attack, plus fire damage. No wonder, Kevin's down to about half HP. This guy is gonna be taking a lot of hits. But that's alright, all we're doing otherwise is just chasing enemies down, not that we need to because it's a settlement battle, but at the end of the day, at least they have something to do. And besides, we can use our Necros in this meantime to heal up the units that were heavily damaged enough to lose models. Anyway, Kevin's still losing HP. Looks like Manny's healed up via his potion of healing, and Henri is still very much fighting. They're having a really tough time breaking through that 86 melee defense. It's way too high for us right now. Manny's attack is only at 49, which is not enough for this lord. But because Manny is so point hungry, our fighty tree will probably be the last thing that we upgrade. I.e., it's gonna take a while for us to get there. For now, we just have to deal with whatever units we can with the stats that we have. Anyway, it looks like Henri is just about done. The Spirit Leeches are bringing him significantly lower, and Manny, he recovered to full HP. And then promptly lost about half HP, and now we're going to have to recover it again. And there we go, at last Henri goes down, about 10 times tougher than Repanse was, but, well, he starts with his stats, and I'm willing to bet Repanse wasn't a high level enough, or was not invested enough by the AI in her own fighty tree to be taken on Mannfred, so that does make sense. And guess we lucked out slightly that Henri didn't have his own Hippogriff mount, but otherwise, a very nice fight. Alright, there we go, a very, very nice fight. We did suffer more damage than it looks like here, as it was a close victory, but of course we were able to heal our units right back up and recover most of the losses. Probably could have spent a little bit more time and gotten those flagellant executioners back up and running, but they're fine. In terms of kill counts, 345 and 25,000 damage for Mannfred's Glory, aptly named clearly. 22k and 328 for the Holenwachter, and 425, 30,000 damage for the Impalers. Surprisingly well done for Lances and Barding Black Knights. But frankly, it looks like all the Black Knights did pretty darn well. The Whites of the Black Woes nearly reached 30k as well. Lovely. Anyway, Repanse is done. We get her defeat trait, and we will occupy the Fleet Port of Terror Zandri, though we don't get anything from it. Unit experience gain plus 100 for units when fighting against Bretonnia, all units in army. Well, that's swell, but frankly, I doubt that we'll ever send Manny all the way up to Lewin. I mean, maybe. I mean, he still has to go into the Empire, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It was the research I wanted, other stuff not really helpful, but whatever. Another Gravedigger, and this one for Wilmar, that's great. Hellsteed for Wilmar as well, and another Gravedigger, good. Cracked Land, which is Chemery, is now ours as well. And I guess we'll want to go into Repress Mortals so that we can upgrade stuff faster. So we'll build the Gibbet, or actually no, we'll build the Red Pit, but we won't bother building anything else because we can reduce it by 1 turn. Anyway, we can now get rid of the... Oh wait, Crackland is Black Tower, not Chemery, but anyway. We can demolish the Sinister Copse here since we don't need it. Yeah. Alrighty, Grave Robber, you have a Teching to Thief, or... Yeah, that made sense. Then we want to give one of the new Gravediggers to Bathilda. She has to prepare. The dwarfs will be here. Maybe we'll arrive at any moment. Who knows when, so she's got to be ready for him. Though with the Gravedigger...
It is night.
Yeah, I might want to raise a few things here, just to speed up matters. We do get a little bit of money influx now. Anyway, let's do building upgrades, and then we'll do this fight, which looks pretty darn interesting. The zombies and the bats versus all this. And hey, we could rank 10. Fantastic. First of all, Fell Nest, obviously, for that upkeep reduction for the Fell Bats. All right. And, it's only 50%, but it still brings them down to 0. Okay, whatever. It may as well be 100. We can also do physical and missile resistance for the doggos, or we can max out the bat upgrades. I'm gonna say do the doggos. We gotta get to Brooding Horrors anyway for the Vargeist thing, even though we only have the 1 unit so far, or at least for now. Then, Kadan, I would like you to leave this settlement and go into Necromantic Ritual stance so that you can raise dead, get yourself an Unholy Lodestone Corpse Cart. 281, eh? We can max out the bat count, but... Well, I mean, we might as well. They're free now, and it's not like they cost a lot to recruit. Yeah, how many bats do you need, buddy? You need 7 more bats. Sure. Oh, let's do it. You, into Necromantic Ritual. Go here. Oh, you can't swap units while in Necromantic Ritual? That's weird. Am I just not clicking on him? What the heck? Okay, what? You go here. Then we will give you 1, 2, 3. Give the zombies just for a second, because this guy has the reductions. Then we'll go into Necromantic Ritual, and then we will raise 1 bats, like so, and then give Wilmar all the bats he could want, also like so. And there we go. And I'm tempted to say I was going to get another corpse cart, right? Did I get the corpse cart? Did I not get the corpse cart? I did get the corpse cart. We do have a regular one, but we don't need it. I'm kind of tempted by another spirit host, just so that we have a couple units that can actually dish out damage. And I don't really want Graveguard in this army, just because I want armies to be sort of different from each other. The spirit hosts probably will not stick around in this army, but for now we're fine. Disband the regular corpse cart and get the spirit hosts. Lovely. Alright, that looks good to me. You can both go into... Actually, you can go into Necromantic Ritual, I think, for the attack, and then you can go into Vampiric Channeling, because you're going to be the caster in this sort of horde. Next, we will want upgrades, so let's get... Ooh, Haunted Gemstone Mine, expensive. Let's get the gibbet here. We're not building defenses. If the place gets destroyed, it gets destroyed, whatever. I mean, I probably shouldn't say whatever, because this is all useful stuff, but anyway. Ooh, I would also like to see... Huh, we do have another Morbid Curiosity guy. Yeah, alright, that's another tech thief. I mean, we do need more tech thieves. I wish they weren't so stupidly expensive, but they are. So we'll get another one. Morbid Curiosity. And you shall be Body Snatcher. Alright, keep the vampiric tech thief names coming, people. Okay, now are we ready to attack? No. We still need to upgrade stuff. Okay, you will be upgraded next turn, so we can ignore you. You, we will not ignore. I just want to see Great Mortis Delta. Okay, one more turn until the Vault of Nagash is up and running. Oh. Since it's one more turn, we don't want to take off for Press Mortals, do we? Alright, so we'll do that next turn. Sorry, Bathilda, you're going to have to sit here for a turn then, before you head on down there. Let's just hope that the dwarfs are willing to wait another turn then. Otherwise, we will, I guess, upgrade the... Ugh. Haunted Mill, why you gotta be so expensive? Haunted Mill and Haunted Gemstone Mine. And we will upgrade you shortly. Oh, it only takes one turn, which means we can get rid of the Mausoleum and then upgrade you next turn. Yes, good. Alright, Manny, let's level you up before I forget. I don't know whether it's super necessary. Oh, we will actually have to go through Children of the Night anyway, because we want to get Immortal Horror. Especially when he's on his zombie dragon. He's going to be a big fat target for everybody. And without the extra battle healing cap, it's going to be very dangerous. Nonetheless, we're going to start with Guile of the Night first. And we'll upgrade the others later, because I don't feel like it right now. Alright, let's continue, you guys. Attack Agnes le Chasseur. Chasseur? Is that Hunter? Is that Hunter? Because if that's Hunter, you're about to be... Hey, how dare you run from the zombie and the bat piles? So rude. I think you're out of range. Alright, go into channeling stance then. We'll go here and we'll follow you. We'll do this one and then we'll auto-resolve this little pile. Assuming that we can reach it. Still a close victory and medium casualties, but I think the game is underestimating some stuff here. Go.
Leech them of life.
Alright, here we go. Piles of peasants versus piles of zombies and piles of bats. The weakest of their faction versus the weakest of our faction. Should be pretty interesting, but I'd wager the fact that we have bats which can fly over the enemy melee and thereby tie up and then kill off all of the enemy range will give us this battle. And fairly easily, I would think, but who knows? We'll see. Anyway, we've blobbed up nicely around our now 4 corpse carts, 5 if we count the lords, and I would wager that the zombies are going to be able to stick around for quite a while with their Vigor Mortis and their Unholy Lodestone. And we are going to speed this up a little bit while we wait for the bats to arrive on field and go for the enemy once we do. Alright, there we go. Wilmar's on the field now. We do have the Dire Pack as well as the Vargeists in this army as well, and we're going to send them out to fight the biggest threat on the field, which is going to be those Knights Errant. The Dire Pack Direwolves are an anti-large unit, which means they are fairly capable at taking out the weaker sort of knights like this. And ooh, I love this lighting. And it looks real nice. And while the Dire Pack distracts the Knights Errant, the Vargeists drop from up above on top of them, and then the other unit, one of the other units, of Dire Doggos traps said Knights by hitting them in the rear. And it looks like this unit will be destroyed, or at the very least it has nowhere to run, so we just have to work our way through them with Vargeist and with Dire Pack alike. The other fast movers are chasing around the enemy mounted yeoman archers, while our zombie piles have approached the enemy infantry and are now going to surround and destroy them. While the zombies and the ghosts fight the infantry, our bats are now ready to go and will fly all the way to this massive pile of range units. The The enemy has a lot of them, and that's a lot of units to tie up. Granted, the bats are going to take a long time to kill them because their melee attack is kind of garbage, but, well, actually it's 29 now. It's not so bad. Fortunately, the peasant archers are so weak in melee that the bats are very much threatening to them, and every single archer is tied up or getting shredded. Lovely. Balance power shifts to about 90% in our favor. Some or a few of the men-at-arms units are still fighting, but by the looks of it, not for long. Over on the left flank, however, a second unit of Knights Errant does get a nice charge. And look at the HP drop on those fell bats that were ripping apart those peasants. This unit lost about half of its HP, and this unit lost about a third. Oh, more than half. They've lost about 60%, 80% of their HP. Okay, I think that one charge from the Knights Errant has essentially killed off that unit of bats. Oh well, not a big deal. Not much we can do. We're going to try to heal them up, but I think they've suffered severe enough damage that the unit won't survive. Gotta remember, the bats are super fragile. They have 0 armor, and while their melee defense is decent, a charge from cavalry is going to obliterate them. Anyway, the bats may be fragile, but well, Vargeists are actually fairly fragile as well, but not so fragile that they're going to be crazy threatened by a unit of a Knights Errant, especially once we pop the Terrorgeist Shriek from Wilmar on them, reducing their melee defense and their speed, thereby preventing them from escaping. Alright, now it's just a matter of destroying these Knights Errant, which I believe are the last units on the field. That looks like one of the archers came back, but we'll send one of the bats to chase them down. Yeah, everybody else has routed but the Knights Errant, so it's just a matter of time. And these ones, I believe, were hidden in the trees, which is why I didn't notice them. We devoted, I think, too many units to killing the other unit of Knights Errant off, ignoring this one, which allowed them to kill off that unit of bats and heavily damage another. 106 kills on them, very nice, and 18k damage. Alright, and with that, the battle is ours. The enemy army shatters, and we are good here. I do like the shots of these guys running through the trees, definitely reminding me of the Lewin campaign, which was pretty darn fun as well. That said, we have some awesome cavalry of our own. Certainly we've only got our Black Knights so far, but I absolutely love Blood Knights, and I love Hex Wraiths, and we're going to be using them plenty throughout the campaign. So we'll have some glorious charges ourselves. Oh, and the Scarlet Knights, I believe, the unique Blood Dragon Bloodline units. We'll get to see those later, too. Alright, there we go. Though we lost one unit of Fellbats, a single charge from one of those Knights Errant on 106 kills and 18,000 damage. It essentially destroyed 3 units of Fellbats. 2 basically melted away and 1 was heavily damaged before we recovered it slightly. So yeah, definitely gotta watch out. These guys are very, very fragile, but obviously they're not going to be the entire army. We got other flyers to put in here eventually. For now then, we're good. We'll take the money because auto-resolve will probably kill off this unit of bats, but whatever, what can you do? I think the money is still going to be more valuable than this slight amount of healing, so return captives, and that army is destroyed. And we'll chase this one down, enemy killed in battle. Can we actually... Oh, can't quite reach you, can we? Yeah, no, alright, fine. I guess we'll want to put you into march stance and get as close as we can to our own settlement here so that it doesn't die. You can't actually go into march stance, so you're just gonna go here. And I guess next turn you will raise the bats that are needed to replace. Actually, well, you will raise them for him because you can do it for cheaper. Assuming that, you know, bats come back in decent numbers. And we'll keep an eye on those unholy lodestones as well as we move down towards Kofir, or... if we have Manny do it, we could have them hit Vulture Mountain instead. I'll think about it. It really depends on what Scarbrand does. Alright, anybody else, anything else to do this particular turn? I think we'll save the cash and everything else as needed. How much does it cost to build the 5.7k? And we gotta get started on it immediately, so yeah, we're gonna get started on that. And with the money that we save. Alright, unassigned skill points. Ooh, wait a moment. Any significant skill point upgrades? Okay, you didn't level up any further. You're at level 11 now, and I think we should maybe... save points? Well, actually, we can save it at rank 12, so we can spend this one on more on Living Host. Alright, lovely. Building upgrades ignored, and turn. And let's see what we're looking at here. Vekhal came out of stance mustering. I've got to double check whether Scarby is fighting anybody. Araness Assault Spite. Hello. Trade agreement. Sure, I'd love to vassalize you, but for now we can be friends. And you've got potential units that we want as well. I mean, all the Vampire Coast does. And okay, it looks like you've backed up to Al-Haik, so assuming nobody declares war on us immediately, Manny will take Al-Haik. Nemesis Crown, now that's definitely something Manny would take, so we'll want to grab that at some point. And oh, you're out of range! I wasn't expecting that. That's a shame, but what can you do? You, sir. Okay, we got 2 bets to replace the bets that were lost, or the bat that was lost. You know what? Go into Necromantic Ritual. Just out of curiosity. Balefire, damn. I was hoping for an Unholy Lodestone. Alright, let's do this. Delete you. You. Take 2 zombies. You. Raise 2 bats. And pop them back in. Slaneshi Giggle. Alright. Kadan von Senkenhof, Kit Martek. Should be a quick little auto-resolve. Oh. Close victory. Okay, maybe with the other army it'll be a quick little auto-resolve. We got Vargeist in here after all. Necromantic Ritual for you, sir. Like so. Decisive victory? Now. Good. And occupy. Obviously for now these armies can't function together. Ooh, a Tormentor Sword. That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. We also have 2... Ooh, hello. Let me just take a look at Bloodlines here. So, we could get miscast-based chance reduction. We could get the Headhunter traits so that we're better against Lords. But I think what we'll want to do is we'll actually want to get the Strigoi next. And the reason for this is... I do like the enemies have lowered missile weapon range by 20%. But the thing is... Right's blood cost +1. Ooh, we gotta be careful about that. We want the tier 2 of Strigoi as fast as possible. Campaign movement range +20%. It's just too significant not to get. So we'll raise the Strigoi, but we won't get him on field as of yet. Though that'll change as soon as we can. You, Black Pyramid, are going to get the Vault of Nagash up and running. 14 turns. Not so bad with the reductions. I think we can ignore the Skeletal Wall upgrade for now. Although it might be nice to build it anyway. I mean, it is unlikely that anybody attacks it, but if Skarbrand, you know, sort of does a blitz attack on us with several armies, we might not be able to get back here in time. It only takes 2 turns to build it. On the other hand, it is a significant investment for not too much of a payoff. We want to ignore the Balefire Brazier for now, I think. Also, what did I want to raise here? Alright, at the very least the Corpse Guard with Unholy Lodestone, but for that to happen we need to switch you out of Oppressed Mortals for a turn. Alright, fine. We could get Banshee capacity, but it's so expensive to build. Ancient Armory will give us White King capacity. We should be able to at least build 1 White King. The other option would be to go through the Sinister Copse tree. It's a literal tree. Well, it's a wood, but you know, the image is a tree, which would give us the ability to build at least 1 extra unit of Vargeists, which would be nice. On the other hand, Crypt Cores are super key to everything. And so are Black Coaches for Bathilda. It's just that they're stupidly expensive. Frankly, Crypt Horrors are insanely expensive as well. At least we could get the Vargeist for cheap. Yeah, let's go Vargeist first, even if it's just 1 until we get tier 4. Still, I'm gonna say get the Vargeist.
No.
We can always delete it after we build it. Nah, you know what? I changed my mind. 1 is not worth it, especially since it's this place has no growth, so... I think we have to go for the growth. If we ever want to make good use of it. Go for the Charnel Pit. Guess it's another Necromancer capacity anyway. Anyway, you're going to go here. We are going to ignore the recruitment and raise dead cost reduction. Yes, we're going to ignore the Ghost Fence for now. And we'll see what else we have. First of all, diplomacy. Let's take a look at you. Is there anything of significance? No, not really. Alright, and buildings. Well, there's probably buildings. Ooh, wait, you have the buildings reductions. So you can go here. There we go. Construction time and cost reductions. Build up the mausoleum. What did I want to build at Casabar again? We do want the Balefire Brazier, but we'll want it later for when it's up at tier 4, so not right now. So we could go Gibbet, or we could go... Maybe we do build the Lodestone of Darkness, or Abyssal Wood here might be decent. It's all stupidly expensive either way. You know what, let's just upgrade the Gibbet for more money. And Antok, we're gonna do the same thing, Gibbet. Alright, there we go, that was a good use of the money. And you go back, I see no dwarf armies as yet. They're probably still worried about the lizards. Maybe they have a sort of stalemate going, so that's working for us. You guys aren't able to attack Al-Haik, but you are able to move forward a little bit. In fact, you can go into channeling stance to heal up a teensy bit more. Maybe you guys can hit Kofur and Phyrus. I assume they're poorly defended. Al-Haik is decently defended, but that's what Manny can take. Alright, Manny, you're going to then go... Wait, what do we have here? Nothing. Another Unholy Lodestone available. Should we desire it, but it's better stuff that we want. You're gonna go here. Can we raid for a turn is what I'd like to know. Yes, we can. Alright. A little bit of free cash, a little bit of XP and all that. And tech thieves. Oh. To actually steal tech, we need money. Well, darn. Alright, so no choice in the matter then. How much money do we need? How much did this... 900? How much does it cost to steal tech? 375. Alright, give it a try. You're gonna die instantly, aren't you? Hey, success. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Pleasantly surprised. And 11% chance wounded. Is it the same territory? Well, give it a try, and if you die, you die. Specialist? What about you, sir? Alright, you failed, but you didn't die, so I'm somewhat happy still. Alright, it looks like we're good to end the turn. Skip, and when's our last one coming back? Oh, 1 turn. Alright, gotta get those tech thieves. There's lots of stuff to tech. Anyway, we need 3 more blood kisses for that extra 20% movement, which we surely need. Vec Hall came out of stance mustering, but I see he's not attacking us as of yet. Hi, Queen Khalida. You have ended our trade agreement. Oh, she really doesn't like us. I mean, we did vassalize her. Well, I guess it'll be temporary. We'll have to kill her after all. Unfortunately, she hates us because we are friendly with the followers of Nagash, because they're like minus 100 aversion to each other. And hello. Yeah, okay, this is coming. Mission issued. At the end of your turn, have an income. Nice. Alright, Bathilda, it's time to go to Laqua destroyed. Ooh, that's dangerous. And these guys don't like us with the followers of Nagash either, but what can you do? I hope by having the followers of Nagash with us, that doesn't mean that we can't have Imperial allies, because that would be kind of annoying. But we're gonna have to see. Right expires Blood Moon, War Banner, Potion of Healing, and some damn good rewards here out of the Mightiest Fortress. Alright, so. You're gonna raise stuff. 'Tis necessary. Let's go for Unholy Lodestone, and... It's free to raise skeletons, eh? Alright. Raise some skeletons. They're gonna be relatively cheap. They're not gonna be able to dish out sufficient damage to the dwarfs, though. Probably gonna have to build some great sword, grave garden, maybe some zombies in here. What do we have in terms of zombies? Oh, they actually cost money to raise here, but the skeletons don't. Interesting. Which does it cost to recruit zombies? More expensive. Oh, and we can recruit the Feral Strigoi and the Border Mercenaries, eh? Well, I guess we can recruit these guys for now. We don't have to recruit them here, though. Here we will just build that charnel pit, and then we'll move towards Bagar. We have to get to Casabar before these guys do. Alright, you head to Bagar, please. And you can go back into either growth or, I think, research, maybe. Yeah. We'll probably put it up to growth eventually as well. Anyway, you can now recruit the Great Sword Graveguard. Let's say 4 of them, let's say 3 of them, and then these 2. Really like that Feral Strigoi. You know what? We might need it. Let's get the Feral Strigoi up and running as well. Obviously, we'll separate all of these units. It's just that we gotta work with what we got until things change. All hike.
Destruction.
Manny, that's you, buddy. And without the Vargeist, you don't have Siege Attacker. Huh. And nothing, or huh. I assume that that the zombie dragon, not the black dragon, will give you Siege Attacker at will, so we just need to level you up. Oh well.
They will serve.
Alright, I guess, well, we can't reach it with you.
You dare.
We'll hit Kofor. There's a free island nearby as well, which we should probably take, and then have these guys take Pyrrhus right after. Kofor, Pyrrhic Victory, I don't think so, not with both of them around. What kind of battle marker is this? A relatively small one. Go here. You want to check it for more unholy lodestones. No, it's just a regular corpse cart, and we will attack. Decisive victory, low casualties. Damage is fine. Doable. Occupy. Lovely.
Darkness comes.
Alright. And you know what?
From the sands I shall strike at you and never.
Oh, she's strength rank 9 now. You know what, I'm not going to cancel the vassalage yet. We're going to cancel it when we're ready to immediately attack her. Hopefully she won't cancel it herself, but the AI is now capable of doing that when needed, so we do have to watch out. Manny, you are stuck where you are. Let's do the tech thievery. As best we can, anyway. Body Snatcher, you're gonna head to Sunken Kernark. You did fail, but we gotta get copyright infringement to try here. And then Grave Robber, you can head to Stormhenge. Failure, darn. Oh, come on, guys, come on. Well, you're wasting our money. We really need that tech thievery. Ugh, for techs. Anyway, Kasabar, let's upgrade the gibbet here. 1525, more gibbets. We'll ignore the ossuaries for now. We just go for another gibbet, but I really wanted the Crypt Horror building. We'll need the Ghoul Army up and running soon as well. It just feels like a waste to build the Defiled Cairn here when we should probably build one of these things. Just that they're stupidly expensive. Do we have any more necro spaces? We do not. But we should. And there's another Morbid Curiosity one, but I think the next ones are going to have to go into armies. In fact, shortly. What else do we have? Alright, Black Tower of Arcan. Alright, let's upgrade you. You are in Repressed Mortals? Yes. Let's upgrade the Black Tower of Arcan. No, you know what? Let's upgrade Zandri first, because it has the portend, it has the pottery as well. You're gonna go into Gibbet first to generate cash. And we have barely any money remaining. Meaning I think we'll save the rest of the cash we got for now until we fight a little bit more and get a little bit more money. What we could do... I know we will do. Break Siege. Stop. Okay. Break Siege. No, you know what? That's not... no, never mind. Next turn. Or the turn after. We'll see. I want to do the quest battle for Manny, but I think breaking Siege might not be such a good idea right now. And, oh, we will still need to build these things. There you go. And I believe we're good. Yes, yes. Any rights that we need right now? I probably don't want to waste it. I do like the income from buildings plus 200% even for one turn. But at the cost of a blood kiss, I think it's not worth it yet. Though it eventually will be. Alright, Scarby's still not attacking us. Let's see if the dwarfs start moving towards us and whether Bathilda will have to fight them off. I believe all of our tech thieves failed, and hey, they're going to attack us in the field with Helena Dragondrame reinforcing. Well, isn't that lovely? This one will fight. It's a big old pile, even if it is mostly peasants. It's not like we'll be fighting too many Bretonnians after the desert has been cleared of them. Go.
Slaughter them!
Alright, slaughter them indeed. Gotta, well, we'll be out of the desert sooner than you know, probably in a couple of episodes, so, well, we gotta enjoy it while we can. All the desert fights are all really fun and nice and visible. We got lots of room to maneuver, no trees being irritating, and plenty of space for our cav to work, as well as the fact that even if it's night, we can still see everything, which is just great. Anyway, I'm going to speed this up a little bit as we get ready to engage in combat. Manny's going to move towards the enemy lord while our Black Knights smash into the enemy, a mounted yeoman. And said yeomen are going to have a pretty bad time of it. Looks like these are the sword and board variants, so they don't have the big old charge that the Lancers do, but that's just fine. We'd probably need the Lancers to take on Knights of the Realm or Knights Errant and whatnot, at least on the charge. But against mounted yeomen, the regular Black Knights will suffice just fine. I mean, their stats are pretty okay, 44, 45, plus the armor that the poor yeomen are not going to be able to pierce. Now, the other knights are waiting, and we're backing the rest of our force off. Since the enemy has a lot of units available to them, nearly 2 stacks, we want to draw them into the center of the map, wherein we can actually chase the enemies down when they run. Manny's going to go after the enemy lord, a prophetess here, who has lost about half of her HP to the Spirit Leech, and will hopefully lose the rest as Manny chases her down. Looks like the enemy is using its bowmen against the knights who are chasing down and destroying the shattered now units of yeomen. Manny hits a few of those poor peasants, and then returns to attacking the prophetess. Alright, it looks like we waited long enough. The enemy reinforcements are here, and they've arrived just in time to see their prophetess be killed. I always forget, it's often easier to keep a mounted flyer like this on the ground when you're chasing, just so that they don't go up back into the sky. Anyway, looks like we get hit with a bunch of arrows, but that's not going to, well, fly. Most of them miss, although there's, what, like 4 of them in Manny's back right now, and, oh, don't tell me she's gonna escape. Come on now, game. Game, don't do this to me. Nah, whatever, we'll just pop it off another Spirit Leech, and that will bring her down. And there we go. In the meantime, a couple of enemy units have reached our main line, and of course the peasants are going to absolutely fail against the Graveguard. Ooh, it looks like the yellow and red color scheme of Repanse's faction is kind of similar to ours, which kind of makes it difficult to tell apart. Was a little bit of a range shootout happening as our crossbows fired upon the enemy peasants, but it looks like they routed fairly quickly. And the enemy has sent forth its knights, led by their paladin. Alright, time for a little bit of night-on-night action this time, since it's Knights of the Realm, no, Knights Errant here that the enemy has brought. We'll send in our own knights with the lances to fight them, at least on the charge. And of course, Varric's Reavers to back them up with their greatswords. Alright, and the greatswords should be pretty darn effective. I imagine the Varric's Reavers, in terms of stats, are probably more on par with questing knights than Knights of the Realm or Knights Errant. And it looks like these guys are, well, they're not super heavily damaged as yet, but they don't want to fight us directly. Our White King, Kevin von Lloydstein, is facing off against the enemy paladin. Though it looks like the mass of the knights does push him along a little bit, as we move them into a nice charge into the back of an enemy peasant unit. Charge right through them into more peasants. There we go. You gotta love nice cavalry charges. Alright, and it's finally time to move our main line forward. It looks like the knights are taking all the glory in this particular battle, which is fine, since the Graveguard do a lot of work in other battles. Looks like we have managed to trap all of the enemy Knights Errant once again. Oh, actually it's Knights of the Realm now. The Knights Errant have been destroyed because they're a lot more fragile. The Paladin has been found and ripped apart by Manny, who will either chase him down or Spirit Leech him, and the Knights with the lances and black barding that charge through those lines of peasants have returned to hit the Knights of the Realm in the back now. Gotta surround them and destroy them, as they are the last big threat on the field. Of course, the enemy range units will always be threatening, but we have enough cavalry to deal with them. Oh, there's another unit of Knights Errant, but as we saw, they're going to be a lot more fragile. It does look like an enemy unit of foot squires is heading towards us. Might want to pincushion them if needed. But yeah, we have definitely been getting good use out of the Sylvanian crossbows in this army. They won't stay here, but they have been useful. And looks like Manny will take a few arrows and will hit the enemy with Scab Scrath or whatever that ability was. Yeah, what the ability was named. Did I miss it? Oh, the ability is also called Scab Scrath. Alright, fine. And dish out heavy damage to those poor peasants. Found the Knights of the Realm again, or Knights Errant rather, again, and hit them with a Spirit Leech now, which drops the occasional unit. Piles of enemy peasants are now attempting to move forward, and it looks like the enemy has decided to blob up, which is not such a good idea. We're not going to hit them with any magic, but we are going to thus take advantage and kill off all of their range units rather shortly. Ooh, does look like all of those range units are going to focus our corpse carts. The AI does have a tendency to do that sort of thing. And later, when we're fighting, you know, maybe high elves or wood elves or even the Empire with higher level units, really got to watch out for very rapid kills on our necromancers. Definitely going to have to give them some items to give them some additional missile resist. Gonna be needed. Anyway, looks like the droves of peasants will collapse pretty much as soon as the Graveguard hit them, because the leadership is going to be very low on peasants. Once again, the enemy foolishly didn't bring a Grail relic. And the range units are still firing, mostly because we don't have enough cavalry to deal with the enemy cavalry and go after all the range, but they probably won't be doing so for too long. The bounce power, after all, has hit 90% in our favor, and the battle is nearly ours. Just a matter of chasing the enemies down. And our rather slow-moving Graveguard are still armored and shielded enough to weather the storm of arrows as well. Alright, there we go. Balance of power hits 100%, and with that, as soon as the Graveguard arrive to cut down the units of enemy range, or the enemy missile infantry, and the battle is ours. Ah, love fighting with this lighting under the desert. The desert is a really nice start, regardless of the fact that we're surrounded by enemies, just because of the lovely maps. I also do really like the sort of tundra and frozen maps, because they're also, well, I mean, I guess they're also a desert, technically speaking. They're also nice and visible. But anyway, a little bit of chasing to do, but we'll do it off screen. Alright, coming off of that battle, I definitely feel like we desperately need the Claw of Nagash Regiment of Renown in this particular army. That's the Mortis engine with the Chilling Aura, since the Graveguard are so darn slow, they really need something to help slow the enemy down, so I think that's the way we do it. Kill-wise / damage-wise, it's very, very close. In fact, in kills, the Flagellant Executioners won, but the Barrow Heroes and the Macabre Dancers took the damage. Well, out of the infantry. For the Knights, of course, we've got the... they're all pretty even, but it looks like the only unnamed unit of Knights just barely edged out the Tattered Banner Knights. Lovely. We are going to once again take the money. I do really like that Murdered Captives trait or buff, but we need all the cash that we can get. Now, hopefully that didn't break the siege. No, it looks like we're still okay. But yeah, we have trouble chasing, and hey, we got a Forbidden Rod to add to our Forbidden Rods. Isn't that fantastic? No more Trickster Shard. Ooh, although we have been using the Trickster Shard to reduce enemy spell resistance. That's an interesting question. But this is more... no, I'm still going to say Forbidden Rod. More Forbidden Rods in the army. And Recruit a Lord, Scroll of Leeching. Ew, Scroll of Leeching is terrible. Unless, wait, SFO maybe made it better. Maybe actually made it worthwhile. No, still just a Hex of the Winds. No additional traits, nothing. Yeah, I'm still going to not use it. Or turn it into something more useful anyway. Anyway. We were going to go for Baleful Rituals into... Spread Vampire Covens and into Infiltrate Noble Houses. And come from cities, 10% isn't too bad either. That's essentially at least 20 to 25 gold per turn per settlement that we have, which is not insignificant. Wait, do we have any speed buffs for Graveguard? No. We get speed buffs for zombies, but not for Graveguard, at least not in this portion. Alright, well, Baleful Rituals it is, at least for now. Manny, you can auto-resolve Al-Haik now. And occupy it. Alright, Mortal Informer, and did we just get a... Oh, wait, did we get a second Forbidden Rod, or was that the first Forbidden Rod? That was the second Forbidden Rod. Well, isn't that lovely? Bathilda, you're probably gonna need it. And you've got your troops up and running now. Let's get you that Forbidden Rod. Beautiful. Also, you have Raise the Dead and then Shadow spells, but still Invocation of Naheg, which is fine. You can, I guess, stay here for now. I don't see any dwarves coming, but they won't be able to attack us in a single bound, essentially, anyway. So I think we're okay. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit, so you're going to move to Antok. Interesting that they're actually raiding us rather than attacking and destroying Talaqua. Oh, they pieced out with Talaqua. Yeah, the AI has this annoying sort of programming to it where it doesn't want to fully destroy enemy factions, and it looks like Talaqua is one of those. Huh. Go figure. Alright, well, whatever. You two. You're gonna hit Phyrus. Oh, are neither one of you able to reach Phyrus? By the looks of it, no. Well, that's a shame, but you're gonna have to move there together. Can't reach Sebastian's Savior either, alright. Go here, we'll chase her down. And Manny, we're going to, I guess, try to leave Ultra Mountain to these guys. Hopefully they can take it. If push comes to shove, we'll besiege it and then deal with it. I'm a little bit worried about these guys reclaiming Martek as well. But I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. Alright, that looks decent for now. Let's check out buildings. We do have a little bit of cash now, so we should probably spend it. More gibbet upgrades are gonna have to take priority. No gibbets here. Let's do the Camry upgrade, though the expenses... It's expensive. Shifting Sands and no new gibbets. I could still build something at Casa Bar, though. Hey, you know what, let's start on the Crypt Horrors. We're gonna need them. And I don't want to wait too long for the Ghoul Army. Nah, go for it. We should probably upgrade both also. Oh. We'll need rank 2 for now, don't we? It's rank 2 that gives us additional Necros, and until we get it, well, I can ignore it. Al-Kalabad, let's upgrade you first, because we need room for a gibbet. And you're in Repressed Mortals, Great Mortis Delta, we're obviously ignoring you, and Great Desert of Araby, yeah, sure, why not? We'll just upgrade it. Alright, anything else that we need to do? Tech Thievery, that's what we need to do. You did not succeed, so try again. Success, there you go, buddy. How about you? 50-50, what about you? Failure. What about you? Success. Alright. And did this go down from 7 to 5 or from 6 to 5? I guess it doesn't, well, it does matter, but it's not something that we can do anything about right now. Anyway, Skip, and Manny, before I forget you. You're more or less at full HP. Yes. And more or less at full HP means we can still fight, which means we're gonna do the quest battle. Let's get you your training. Let's get you your Memories of War, I guess? Would be nice to have the dragon for the quest battle, but it's all good. I'll just go for Memories of War, I guess. Alright, Necros. Replenish troops, you still don't have your corpse card, but you do get the second level of Master of the Dead, which is a very nice upgrade for all the, for the effect range increase, as it does heal everybody fairly significantly. And the targeting range increase to Raise Dead is also really useful, as since we then don't have to be just super close. Anyway, we still have Wind of Death available to us, so we can go for... I'm gonna say Earthing. These guys do miscast periodic. Okay, wait, do we have... Now we have Grave Ward. Interesting. Now, these guys don't have any kind of Spell Ward, which would be nice, because they keep taking damage, but whatever. I guess we could give you the Rod of Flaming Death for now. Not the Potion of Strength, however. Yeah, the rest of the items, I think, are fine. At least for now. We could also double up on Forbidden Rods if we want it, but anyway. Ooh, we are rapidly running out of time, so let's do the Sword of Unholy Power. Now let's give you a read, shall we? Delving within the ancient flayed skin covers of a fell tome that had come into his possession, the Count discovers an examination of binding, funneling dark magic into ancient physical artifacts. When a great quantity of spirit essence is released, it can be harnessed and bound into an item through the use of magical power. Mannfred knows of such a locus, an arcane fulcrum of bone deep in the Badlands, where greenskins gather to conduct their pathetic shamanic rites. Even now, they gather in great numbers around the Pillar of Bone, and their shamans are engaged in one of their primitive rituals to their gods, Gork and Mork. Mannfred fingers his sword thoughtfully then calls to his White King captains to ready his army. Alright. You keep fingering your sword, buddy. Enjoy. Griebit's Iron Jaw. Okay, we can't see what the reinforcements are. This is obviously fairly basic, but who knows what the reinforcements are. I'm going to quick save this because it's been a long episode and occasionally we get crashes in quest battles. So, yeah, just in case. I really don't want to redo the entire thing if it crashes. Let's get to it. The slaughter of so many greenskins close to an arcane fulcrum should provide the right conditions for the Count to bind the necromantic energy into an artifact. He must destroy this goblin shaman and his underlings defending the pillar, and do it before any greenskin reinforcements arrive.
Look how the insects gather around the arcane fulcrum, chanting their pathetic rituals. We shall slaughter them in its shadow, ensorceling the Pillar of Bone with necromantic energy, and then Mind Blade will be bathed in unholy power. It is time. The dead march. Bring thy swords. Reap death. Dance a dance macabre. It is time. The dead march.
Alrighty, I vaguely remember this quest from previous campaigns, and I'm just laughing because I mean, if I've played the Vamp so much that yeah, even if it is Manny, who I haven't played nearly as much as Vlad. Anyway, I remember previously thinking that the Bone Pillar is pretty darn cool looking, I gotta admit. It's a pretty cool map, generally speaking. You can see the sort of winds of magic swirling around it since it's an arcane fulcrum. Pretty neat. Anyway, this quest battle is looking pretty neat as well. Immediately, the enemy reinforcements are upon the map, and ooh, we got black orcs with great weapons, two of them here, led by a orc war boss. We got another orc war boss on the left flank with a bunch of goblin wolf raiders, while the main force consists of a bunch of archers, shamans, melee, and doom divers, which we're going to send Mannfred towards. Obviously, our main stack is going to be rather slow, moving towards the main army, but we should be just fine going after the enemy cav and hopefully knocking them out before the rest of the battle is started. Anyway, a little bit of cav on cav action, and these aren't boar boys, these are merely wolf riders, and they should have in theory no chance against our black knights. Especially the Varix Reavers, but really any of the Black Knights, because the Wolf Riders are very fragile light cav, and they just don't have enough armor-piercing damage to be threatening to the Black Knights, fragile though they are. Alright, and there we go. Looks like all the enemy cav is engaged, and it's going to be a little bit of a brawl between them while we continue approaching the main enemy line with our own units. Nice to get this fight out here so that we don't have to choose between watching the cavalry fight and the melee infantry fight. And I guess somewhat missile infantry fight, since for now we have a little bit of missile infantry. Looks like Manny's annoying the enemy. He's dropping the zombies on the enemy doom divers so that they don't attack our main stack. And it looks like most of the enemy wolf riders are booking it on out of there now. Honestly, funnily enough, I keep seeing a lot of them get staggered, and I see them running, but not a lot of them seem to have been... Well, actually, I see a pile of corpses here, but when looking at them being cut down, they couldn't quite see as many get well cut down. Okay, now. And that one survived. There we go. Alright, they're so tiny. Anyway, we're obviously going to send the Black Knights to chase them down so they don't come back, while the Varix Reavers, our greatsword variant, with that weapon strength fairly decent and 46 armor piercing, are going to surround and kill, hopefully, the enemy orc warboss. Fortunately for us, the warboss has high melee attack and solid stats, and hits very hard with 744, but his melee defense is only 39, meaning the Varix Reavers, probably at the loss of at least a fair few of their units, should be able to bring them down. And then those that we lose, we can simply heal back up. Alright, well, they're going to be whacking away at that guy for a fairly long time, I'd wager, but fortunately we have other things to do. Our Graveguard are finally here, as they've been on the approach for 2.5 minutes now, just trying to get to the enemy. And there we go, we're going to actually send the great weapons forward a teensy bit just to try to get them to surround the enemy lord and send our White King forth to attack him. And there we go, zombies summoned to blunt the charge of the enemy Black Orcs, and then act as a meat shield for a little bit, while the great swords then get stuck in, piercing the armor of those Black Orcs. Once again, all beneath the shadow of that arcane fulcrum slasher bone pillar. Pretty nice. Alright, and melee units are now engaged. We got more zombie summons coming in. Looks like the enemy also has the savage orcs here. I'm gonna be very interested to see how we deal with the enemy savage orcs when we fight Wurzag later, because of the massive amount of physical resistance that he has. Anyway, the enemy Doom Divers, I believe, are either broken or running. Manny continues chasing around the enemy Shamans, as that is the goal of this particular battle. We have to kill off all 4 before the battle is ours. Looks like Varix Reavers have taken care of the enemy Orc Warboss on the left flank, and all of our units of Knights, which have been chasing the enemy up until now, are ready to go and start attacking the melee. Getting a little bit of range-on-range action going, as the enemy is shooting us and we're shooting right back with our Sylvanian crossbows. I'm excited to see what we can do with 8 Sylvanian crossbows in a single army. Alright, well, they're going to be doing that for a while, and frankly, so are our Graveguard going to be facing off against the Orcs for a fair bit. But because of the presence of our corpse carts once again, we are, well, the vampire counts are pros at outlasting their foes. The units go down and then just heal back up and come back up. Zombies keep appearing on you, and there's not much you can do about it. Alright, how's that balance power looking? About 80% in our favor now. Manny has found himself yet another shaman to rip apart, who is down to about half of his HP. And the Black Orcs, of course, are still, well, one of the units of Black Orcs is still fighting, but the other one is routing, and frankly, the one that's still fighting probably won't be doing so for long. They're going to take a rear charge from our Halberdiers, and just like the Great Swords, the Halberdiers have armor-piercing weapon damage as well. Granted, at the cost of slow attacks and low melee attack, generally speaking. Actually, wait, they're up to 61 with the buffs nearby. Maybe not so low. I mean, their standard stats pre-buffs are only 25 melee attack, which is why I say that. And there we go, it looks like the Black Orcs are routed. Some Gobos are still fighting, and I believe 2 enemy Shamans remain alive, or is it just the 1 now? Yeah, 2 enemy Shamans remain alive. And Gobos working together with those Savage Orcs, but the corpses continue to pile up. And it is definitely too bad that while the corpses pile up, they don't turn into zombies and start fighting for you. It would be pretty cool. Alright, and it looks like the Gobos are done for, the Savage Orcs are done for as well, and the Orc Shaman is routing, and it looks like, frankly, all of the enemy units, with the exception of the enemy Lords and Heroes, are done. So, we just have to end the battle by killing them off. Manny continues spamming his Spirit Leech, as he has been continuously doing, since this is essentially an assassination quest, and is nearly done. This annoying chasing little... Footlords like us, and there we go. The quest the quest was to either rout or kill them. So once we rout them and the rest of their army, the battle is ours. And a really fun fight. I loved all the reinforcements coming in from various sides and having to fight different types of units. Alrighty, a really fun fight. Loved watching the various Black Knights rip into those Goblin Wolf Riders, and we're a line of Graveguard while holding the line. 380 kills for the Barrow Heroes, proving their name apt, considering they vastly outdid all the other melee units in this particular run, and this particular battle, rather. And for the Knights at 357 kills, the Impalers impaled many a greenskin on their lance. Beautiful. We are going to... I guess we don't really need replenishment here, so we'll return the captives, I guess, for more money. Plus, we should get 5,000 gold as a reward. And hello, student. Oh, wait, this has been changed, right? So that... Yeah, we don't need to cancel... We don't need to cancel this anymore. It'll just happen on its own, I think. Yeah. Zombie Dragon. Ooh, perfect. That's a nice reward along with the Sword of Unholy Power. The income from post-battle loot will come in real handy, as well as the additional mana this is going to give us in battle. In addition to that, we got 2 Blood Kisses. Need 1 more for the additional movement range, which we could admittedly really use. And Manny, you are going to go into Vampiric Channeling here. Your rank 18, I don't think gives you anything crazy. I do still think we really want to get to Immortal Horror. On the other hand, how quickly... These guys are leveling pretty quickly, so we should probably try to get them their rank 7. I didn't want to get him his Wind of Death and Purple Sun of Zoreus and... Well, actually, I don't like Purple Sun, but anyway, on occasion. Fate of Biuna and stuff, especially with the Lore Master, we could cast them cheaper than our Necromancers could. -2 cost for Wind of Death upgraded. Which could be reasonably cheap. And Manny is admittedly going to be doing a lot of the casting for us. But I think for now we're going to be relatively okay. Let's get Evil Sun. Creatures. Waking Dead, that's the one. I wouldn't have figured that Waking Dead was the one that did cavalry, because I saw this, I was like, charge, that must be Cav. Nope, it's the monsters. And then I saw this, and I was like, aha, Cav move fast, but that's not other guys. Anyway, yeah, we gotta upgrade those Black Knights. No melee defense, the one thing that they really need, but oh well. They've been doing reasonably well, admittedly. We really need those Mortis engines in here, though, and the Sternsman and all that. And speaking of, 2 more levels until they're in here, providing us with the Grave Wound ability on our front lines, which will be nice. Anyway, let's see if there's anything else to do this turn. Well, we do have money again, so we could potentially upgrade something if there's something worth upgrading, but it looks like for this particular turn, there really isn't. I do want to double check. Okay, you're in growth, but everybody else is in Repress Mortals, right? Yeah, keep growing for a little while. At least, well, for 6 or 7 turns. All right, let's end the turn, and then we'll probably call the episode as we probably are kind of out of time. Ooh, wait. I want to double check 2 things. First of all, Necromancers, other than the Morbid Curiosity guy, and okay, we got the Strigoi Bloodline. I want to see if there's anything interesting in the Lords, because if there's like a really powerful trait that comes up, we'll want to pick it up. Ravenous Hunger is nice. Prowler enables Stalking Stance. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Huh. Wonder what we could do with that. Anyway, let's end the turn for now. Alright, I don't like how Bathilda's just sitting there, but we don't know whether we need to respond to the dwarfs or the orcs or the or Scarbrand, so I guess we're just going to leave it alone, at least for now. Any one of them could attack us at any moment, and you're going to destroy yourself. Okay, goodbye. I don't know why you did that, but fare thee well. That wasn't your last settlement, so it's odd behavior from the AI there. But it does odd things sometimes. A recruitment surplus, we're not really going to be recruiting right now while our money is... well, while we need more money. Let's keep that war fervor going. Another gravedigger. Wait, did I give the gravedigger to Bathilda? Okay, you're really starting to freak me out, man. Ah, why are you so close? And we can easily destroy this guy, it's just that Wurzag is strength rank 3. Only 5 settlements, mind you, but he probably has a ton of, just like a ton of armies. I might go for Bagar then, because we're not defending it. Although the garrison is pretty okay, even without any garrison structures. Alright, well, we'll leave it alone. Anyway, folks, with that, we're out of time, and I'm calling the episode here. Next time, we will march these two down from Phyrus onto the Vulture Mountain and hope that we can take it, while Manny starts moving this way. If Skarbrand doesn't attack us, we might attack him. Agrul Migdal should be an easy conquest. And we could probably knock him out relatively quickly. How many territories does he have, out of curiosity? Just the 4, just so that we're not bordering him. And then move through High Queen Kalida's, cancel the vassalage, because it looks like because of the followers of Nagash, she's never going to like us. We'll have to destroy her instead. A bit of a shame because I wanted access to her units, but Arcan feels like the more appropriate ally to us, and at least that way we won't be having to share some really good territories like the Hall of Rebirth at Lamia. Plus, we should reclaim Lamia for ourselves. Anyway, more vamps to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold if you're into the hour-long episodes. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.